Hi Leos, welcome to your second half of March love check-in. Let's see what is happening for you in love, Leo. There will be a new moon today in your 8th house of emotional intimacy. To some degree, it could be about secrets. Jupiter is directing your 12th house now as well. So I feel like any lessons that you've been learning about around self-sabotage, anything that was happening behind the scenes that you weren't aware of, especially romantic love, will now come to the surface. So let's see what things we have for you all. My name is Whitney and this is With the Messenger. We have free will. We have spiritual protection, okay? So your free will is being protected, or someone's free will is being protected. And then we have loss. I'm hearing from, I think it was Jay-Z. I'm not a fan, I'm hearing the lyrics. It says, a loss ain't a loss, it's a lesson. Appreciate the plane, it's a blessing. So I feel like the end of a connection here for you all was spiritual protection. And either it was spiritual protection to protect your free will, or I will be real, I'm feeling like this free will could be like if someone was infringing upon somebody else's free will, like doing love spells and stuff like that. But now the love spell has been broken, and to some degree that is spiritual protection too, because like the karma was gonna come back. Yeah, the moon, what was happening in the dark comes to light here. This is so strange. What do we want to use? This one. Let's start with this one. Okay, tell us more about these themes for the second half of March for Leo placements, please. And the 8th house is, that has to do with stuff like the esoterics and stuff like that. And there's a new moon there. We have Mars and Mercury that just met up with the North Node. That's kind of like a karmic reset. One more. Yeah, Ace of Swords, the truth. Clarity. But I'm feeling like this is the chance to, like, the 10 of Swords is the loss, right? And then when you hit that reset button, we have the Ace of Swords, starting things off at a more truthful place. The Page of Cups, right? Because unrequited love, Page of Cups. I feel love spells were involved here. 9 of Wands. Let's see what's at the bottom of the deck. We have the Ace of Pentacles, the Knight of Pentacles, the 6 of Pentacles. So this was about commitment, receiving more from someone, receiving a higher level of commitment from someone. But with the Page of Cups, if you notice, these two people are looking to this person for attention. I think someone was looking towards someone else for that love and affection, while this person, they were focused on their own couple love. And the 9 of Wands, I feel like there was a persistent energy to get this. But now, especially with this full moon here, the next full moon will be in the sign of Libra, because the last full moon was in the sign of Virgo, and that was an eclipse, and that was the second house, which is their house of self-worth. Let's see, let's clarify. What's this truth with the Ace of Swords? Yeah, it's about the same Ace of Pentacles, about this commitment. Someone wanted to receive more, a higher level of commitment. Yeah, it's a look. Look. Okay, Spirit just confirming everything I said. Ace of Swords and Ace of Pentacles twice here. This is somebody who wanted to receive a higher level of commitment from someone else. I don't know that it's there though. Let's clarify the Page of Cups. So this second half of this month is definitely gonna see you or someone else not receiving Two of Swords, yeah, blockage energy, not receiving that commitment, and you may feel like a loss, but it's a blessing in disguise. Tell me more about the Page of Cups, second half of March for Leos. The World card, that is an ending. Look, 5 of Wands, conflict. Sun. I do see Judgment here. I see the 5 of Cups and the Death card, which tells me that this is like a spiritual thing that occurs, and someone is gonna have to go through an ego death because they're gonna feel some shame. The 9 of Wands could also represent shame. They're gonna feel some shame around some loss. I think the ending of a connection is gonna be highlighted. I also feel with the World card, someone's place in someone's life is also going to be highlighted. Tell me more about the 9 of Wands. Yeah, the Page of Swords is like finding out information, right? One more, the 9 of Wands. The Hermit, Virgo energy. Okay, so it's that Virgo lunar eclipse that brought this breakthrough about. You might see it as a breakdown, but it's a breakthrough. Yeah, because someone was very insecure here, and to some degree willing to accept crumbs even if it's not what they really wanted. Someone might want to go into hiding with the Hermit card after this plays out too. What's this Page of Swords? The Ace of Cups, where someone love is. What's this Page of Swords? Yeah, the Empress, the person that a person really chooses, and Temperance, where their emotional fulfillment is. This could also be like comparing energy too. What's the advice? What's the advice for Leos, please? What's the advice for Leos? What's the advice for Leos, please? For some of you, unfortunately, this could be you finding out someone with the Sun, the Ace of Cups, and Empress, even the Ace of Pentacles. This could be you finding out about a pregnancy. What's the advice for Leos, please, in regards to this romantic situation? Healing and depression. Yeah, you kind of need to focus on healing yourself right now. It doesn't mean you're gonna take this easy. And from the ego death, I could have felt that, because the ego death puts us into the dark night of the soul. Right, what's at the bottom of this? Did I see this already? Power, control, planning. You might want to lead on your friends, especially the ones with who have a capacity to be empathetic right now. But with this power and control here with the free will, I do feel like someone was trying to control somebody else's free will, and now that person may have been spiritually protected too. Now that results in some sort of loss. And I feel with the healing depression here, it was you, Leo, who was the one. And you're now going to have to go through a period of healing. Yeah, Queen of Wands energy. Yeah, look, Queen of Wands and the Four of Swords. This is healing for a Leo. This is a healing. Four of Swords is what comes after the Three of Swords. It's they isolate to heal. Advice for Leos, please. Healing and depression. The 5 of Wands. That's that competition energy. Some of you may want to do some affirmations. Sun card again, Leo. One more. Healing and depression advice for Leos. Seven of Swords. Yeah, there are some things that you weren't honest with yourself about. Could even be with others about. Okay. You're gonna have to grieve some things too with this 5 of Cups. Grieve these loss. Grieve the way that you wanted things to be. Because I do feel like the truth is gonna come out. And with the 5 of Wands here, it's gonna stir up a lot of internal conflict within you.